Imagine a vibrant Friday night. The city lights are shimmering, music hums from sidewalk cafes, and groups of friends are erupting in laughter. In the heart of that crowd, there is someone glowing. They are the one telling the funniest stories, the one who always knows how to comfort a crying friend, and the person you would never, even for a second, suspect is struggling. They look so happy, they look so full of life. But there is a fleeting moment, just a split second, when their gaze accidentally hits the void, and you can see an utter, bone-deep exhaustion flickering behind their pupils. Then the party ends. That person returns home. The metallic jingle of keys echoes in the silent hallway. The door slams shut. And, immediately, like a rubber band that has been stretched too far and suddenly released, the smile on their face vanishes. Their shoulders slump, their breathing turns heavy, and they collapse onto the sofa in total darkness. Welcome to the world of smiling depression, a psychological condition where the mask of happiness becomes an inseparable part of the face. Yet, it is the very thing devouring your soul every single day. In today's video, we aren't going to talk about public tears. We are going to dissect a painful paradox. Why the seemingly happiest, kindest people are often the loneliest inhabitants of their own inner homes. If you are watching this and that image feels hauntingly familiar, take a deep breath. You are not alone. And more importantly, you don't have to try to smile for me. Before we dive into the neural mechanisms, we need to break a very harmful social stigma. We often assume that depression means staying in bed all day, neglecting hygiene, and sobbing. But in reality, there is a type of depression called high-functioning depression. It is very invisible. People with this condition still show up to work on time and achieve great results daily. They aren't weak. On the contrary, they possess a willpower that is almost terrifying to witness. They use that will to build a fortress called stability to hide the storm raging inside. From a scientific perspective, this is an extreme effort by the prefrontal cortex of your brain. It is working overtime to suppress the painful signals coming from the limbic system, your emotional center. In other words, your brain is like an A-list actor performing an endless play without intermissions. And the price of this performance is total cognitive exhaustion. You are running on empty. Every social greeting, every nod of approval, every polite laugh consumes a massive amount of energy. Psychologists call this cognitive load. It is the weight of the thoughts you must manage. For a neurotypical person, social interaction is a way to recharge and feel connected to others. But for someone wearing the mask, interaction is like carrying a heavy sandbag while running. This is exactly why, after spending all your emotional battery, you have nothing left for yourself. You become solitary, not because you hate people, but because solitude is the only recovery space. In the darkness of an empty room, you don't have to be the star employee anymore. You are allowed to be a hollow void. But that emptiness brings another terrifying fear. The fear that if you take the mask off, you will forget how to put it back, or even more painful, the fear that if people saw you, they would walk away forever. The paradox lies in the fact that because you are so empathetic, you don't want to be a source of negativity. You would rather suffer alone than ruin the atmosphere of a party or worry your loved ones unnecessarily. You tell yourself, I'm fine. I can still work. I can still laugh. But endurance isn't the absence of pain. To understand this choice of solitude, we must look at a familiar but misunderstood chemical, dopamine. Normally, dopamine is the reward for connection, but for the smiling, depressed, this system is numb. You still participate, but your brain doesn't register the joy, like eating a feast without the sense of taste. This emptiness creates massive internal pressure. You must use sheer willpower to simulate every single smile. You are living in a prolonged state of fight or flight. Yet your external expression is a calm lake. Solitude is the only time you are allowed to turn off this system and finally power down your mind. Have you ever wondered why you stay up so late? This is called revenge bedtime procrastination. During the day, your time belongs to the boss, the mask, and the world. Night belongs only to you. In the darkness, when the world is asleep, you don't have to please anyone. You are finally free. You stay up late because you fear that if you sleep, tomorrow will arrive and the mask must return. There are hidden signs that society praises, but which are actually cries for help from an exhausted soul. It is perfectionism taken to an extreme. You fear one small mistake will make your fortress crumble. You are the first in the office and the last to leave. You take extra work and appear enthusiastic, but you almost never talk about yourself. You are the listener, the observer, keeping your secrets hidden. Another sign is self-deprecating humor. You are charming, but you mock your own flaws to protect yourself. You would rather laugh at yourself first, so no one has the chance to see the truth underneath. It is a way to weaponize your pain, turning it into laughter to distract everyone in front of you. And then, when you return to solitude, the contrast is brutal. The silence becomes a loud scream. The brighter you shine in the crowd, the denser the darkness in your room feels when you're alone. The solitude of the smiling depressed is not like the loneliness of someone without any friends at all. It is the feeling of being an outsider right in the middle of those who love you the most. You sit next to them. You smile at them. But you know they don't truly see your real self. They only see the shadow you are trying to project. They love the mask, not the wearer. This feeling of not being seen, even when closest to loved ones, is a refined kind of agony. It makes you believe that if you disappeared, the world would still be fine without you there, because what the world needs is that mask, not the broken human being underneath it all. Ironically, it is often your very kindness and empathy that chain you to this deep darkness. You are too afraid of hurting others. You fear saying "I'm not okay" will cause them pain. You fear making your mother cry, your partner anxious, or making your boss feel disappointed in you. You carry the weight of expectation. Everyone says you're the strongest person they know. They admire your optimism. But to you, these compliments are extra bricks on a tall wall. You feel you don't have the right to collapse. You have a responsibility to maintain perfection. But my friend, listen to me. No matter how sturdy a tree appears, it needs deep care. If it lacks water from within, it will eventually hollow out and fall at a slight breeze. Strength is not measured by how much weight you can carry on your shoulders every day. It is measured by whether you have the courage to set the bag down and admit fatigue. How do we remove that mask without damaging the face? How do we turn solitude into refuge? The first step is not trying to be happy, but learning to be authentic. Truth over performance. You don't have to scream to the world that you are breaking. Start with one trusted person. Try a small technique called small disclosure. Don't recount every single pain from the last 10 years. Start by simply saying, "I'm a bit tired today. I don't really feel like smiling right now." That is how you plant a seed of truth in the soil of sweet and beautiful lies. You will be surprised that the world does not crumble when you finally stop smiling for everyone. On the contrary, those who truly love you will feel relieved to finally see the real you. Shift your goal from pleasing others to being kind to yourself. You deserve your own compassion. If your best friend were in this much pain, would you force them to wear makeup? Certainly not. So why do you do it to yourself? Why are you your own harshest critic? Solitude only becomes a poison when it is accompanied by deep denial and hiding from truth. But when you sit alone and tell yourself, "I am hurting," and that is perfectly okay, that solitude begins to heal you. Your nervous system finally rests because the fighting has stopped. Do not underestimate the small signs. If you find yourself avoiding calls, stop and breathe deeply. If your laughter rings out but your chest tightens, it is a signal from your soul. It is a signal reminding you that the battery is empty. It's okay to stop now. The healing journey is not about making that smile brighter, but about finding your value without it. You are precious because you exist, not because you are the provider of joy for others. You don't need to be anyone's sun if there is a storm inside you. You're allowed to rest. The world needs your authenticity. Even if that authenticity carries a bit of melancholy today, when was the last time you smiled without feeling exhausted? Think about that for a moment. If you can't remember, then perhaps it's time for that mask to take a long rest. Leave a period or share your thoughts in the comments. We are here to listen to you. Peace is not how bright you smile, but how light your heart feels when the door closes. Subscribe for more psychological journeys. Thank you for watching, and be kind to your soul today. Outro. Music fades. Remember, the truest smile is the one that doesn't have to hide anything.